Even though the haters and the comments is gonna watch as well, just only strictly content for Honey Tribe, Just just something that I noticed, a while ago, before the gang stalking and all of that. I just noticed, like, and I'm not bitter, I'm not mad about this or anything. Like, I'm actually completely fine being single. I love, like, if you Honey Tribe, I love being single. So the only issues I have, when I'm single, of course, any divine feminine would agree, any empress would agree, is if you dealing with poverty and you dealing with adversity when it comes to your finances and stuff like that. I mean, obviously it's going to be harder, but my preference would be to be single. Here's a few reasons why I'm grateful, but not why I blame, like why I like being single. On these reasons, it's just a few different reasons why I'm happy to be single, right? And this is just all like spiritual talk. So if you're not spiritual, just click off. You're not even gonna understand what I'm saying. But like I was just thinking about when I first like used to, when I first really started waking up, meaning I would have spiritual dreams. I would notice if I'm thinking about somebody, all of a sudden they'll message me, they'll call me or something like that, or I run into them, I see them. I remember when I was dating, when I was still spiritually asleep, unconscious. I would go on a date. I'm talking about a serious date. I'm not talking about no fast life, get money stuff. I'm not talking about, you know, no dude that I know for a fact I don't want to be with either. I just want to, make his girlfriend mad, or I just want to flirt with him, or I always wanted to talk to him or something. I'm talking about like this person really obviously likes me, want to talk to me, we want to go on a date, hang out, something like that, whatever the case may be. Even if they didn't have no money like that, because these was times, dates and situations when I was younger too, like in like 18, 19 or whatever. I remember I would go, they said, let's go to the movies or whatever, or let's go to this bar and grill. We can play pool there, we can have some drinks there, whatever. Then we'll go to my spot after, whatever. And I'd be like, why now? Like, why now all of a sudden, my left butt cheek is itching, like, real bad? Like, this is just shit I just always used to think about. Never really talk about, because who talks about stuff like that? But I'm sure people think, like, it's common, it's normal. But no, I just used to be like, why now? Like, it be itching bad. Like, to the point where, like, moving around, trying to adjust yourself in the seat, like, all the stuff that you would try to do to, like, get the itch to go away on your right left butt cheek or whatever, it'll just still be itching or whatever. And I'll be like, damn, you know what I'm saying, why now? Or have to burp really bad, but not even know it was like you had to burp real bad, so it just come out and it's loud. And it's so embarrassing you can't even think to be like, excuse me, or just real bad gas all of a sudden. I would be like thinking to myself, this not a coincidence. And so, yeah, like I wasn't into spirituality like that for real. I mean, I was spiritual. I was into, the signs and astrology and stuff like that. But I wasn't like into it. Like I wasn't really like well experienced like I am now. And so I remember I'd be thinking to myself, this is, my intuition would be like, this is not a coincidence. Like, why now? Like, you actually feeling it? Excuse me, y'all. They'll want me to get this out. Y'all already know how we is in the spiritual community. When they messing with your damn speech, when you trying to get something out, coughing and stuff like that, then that's how you know they don't want you to get the message out. Because it's the truth and it might help somebody too. But I'll be thinking to myself, like, why now? Like, I didn't think I would really like this person like that. Now that we in the car, we at the drive, and I'm just thinking about so many different scenarios, I'll be like, why now? And I'm sure I'm not the only person, but I'm telling you why. And that's because people have things that they do like evil eye. And you gotta look into it. I'm not gonna make this video about that, but long story short about evil eye, you can either knowingly or unknowingly give somebody evil eye, or somebody can unknowingly or knowingly give you the evil eye curse. And it's just energy, you know what I'm saying, through you staring at somebody or somebody staring at you. And so I didn't know anything about that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying. I'm sure people have been out and about and tripped, you know what I'm saying, like literally. Some people probably maybe have failed and stuff like that, but just notice like those be like little small jinxes and stuff when people see like a little love connection or just, positive energy and they don't like it or whatever. That's just some of the things I be thinking, because it used to happen a lot, y'all, like a lot. And so me getting older now and just more chill, I be observing people on social media. I be observing people on just like real stuff, not like movies or reality TV. I'm talking about like on live platforms and stuff like that, and just other people when they're interacting on live platforms, and I notice like the same thing happens to them. And if it's like I notice like if they get a lot of hate, like a lot of hate, then it be just even more with, like, for example, like people I guess that already know them coming on there and like commenting their personal business and just trying to embarrass them and stuff like that. So, but I just wanted to bring that up to like the spiritual goddesses, the ones that know about that type of stuff, like that are happily single, you know. Is that something that you think about, that you notice and you know for a fact like your spiritual ops and enemies hate? Like they can't stand the fact that they can't like drain you and burden you, you know what I'm saying, with just everyday life, just things that come with you being a human. Now, because people obsessed with me because I'm an actual empress, guess what? They still want me to feel that way, you guys, and I'm always alone. Okay? Y'all know how Snapchat is, so I probably forgot the main point that I was just last making, but overall in general, I just noticed that, and I feel like once you spiritually become, in a space where you can accept yourself, fate and all, flaws and all, because, you can't call yourself like no real divine feminine. I'm not going to say an empress or a goddess, but you definitely can't call yourself no divine feminine if you don't know your fate. Like, and I'm not talking about just a few times you asking, like, tell me the overall outcome, like what's fated, like what's inevitable, you know what I'm saying, concerning me, concerning this, concerning that, concerning this, concerning that. I'm talking about like through and through. Like you made it a project at one point, even if it took a week, 2-3 days. You wanted to really, because how can you, that's pretty much like adequate and spiritual hygiene as far as when people say things in the 3D realm, like sweep your own front porch before you worry about the next person. Like that's pretty much equivalent to that. Like you can't be in the spiritual community throwing cards on other people's lives and finances, like what they're currently dealing with, not even going to the root of it, who's doing it, you know what I'm saying, why they're doing it. You could be talking about somebody not having this, that, and the third, and whole time the person that's actually spiritually blocking and attacking them is a loser, they're envious, you know what I'm saying, and that person really low-key knows that, and they're watching you tear that person down. Like, so that's why it's best to just kind of know what you talking about, what's going on, all of that before you even, so becoming more spiritual and wise and experienced with spirituality, you really do become really, really humble, meaning through your dark times, through your hard times, even when you up, even when you down. And you got sick people out here that despise that about you because that shows strength. Most people, when they constantly get knocked down, whether they know they're talented, they can play basketball, they were born in a family that's athletic, whatever it is, most individuals, when they're always getting knocked down, as soon as they're up, soon as they're finally in a space of victory, they're going to feel, you know what I'm saying, in a way, because you constantly putting them down, or they're constantly feeling put down. But it takes a really strong person to not only not really care, but to still kind of be so traumatized by trauma and just negative things that they just dealt with, to kind of want to isolate themselves and to kind of want to keep more stable, not want to splurge, not want to be flashy, not want to bring too much attention to them. And the fact that they'll still, now we're talking about a rare case, which is me, you'll still gravitate attention towards you. Like you got money to go in the mall and go to some of the more nicer boutiques, or actually order online, and you to just want to not take a risk. And I'm not saying that there's not a lot of people that can say that, because a lot of people that come from poverty, normally that's how they move. They want to grind like they broke, they want to move like, I'm not saying I'm the only person that does that, but majority of people, just studies can prove this, when they've constantly been going through hard times, adversity, and then people don't even let them go through those times in privacy, meaning if you're not posting on Facebook, if you're not reaching out to people, contacting them, if you're not personally going out to, initiate contact with certain people that you're friends with and let them know what's going on with you, nobody should know. You shouldn't mind having to work 2 jobs. You shouldn't mind having to, hustle or go move back in with a family member or anything like that. But again, certain individuals, really doesn't matter. They're going to watch. They're always going to be wrong. They're always going to be 5 steps behind you. I mean, sometimes their evil, negative plots will work, and that's to keep the whole thing going. You know what I'm saying? Because the God, the Most High, the Creator, the Divine, your fairies, your ancestors, everything concerning you of the light that is in support and the dark, because you need duality, but everything that's on your side that's working for you, they're not. And this is something I had to learn too. I used to be so bitter about it. Like certain ills I took, certain people that walked away from me, certain things that was said. And I would be like, if I'm ultimately, because that's something else needs to come out in the car, is going to always win in the end, no matter what. Um, and win means so many different things. Again, like that's like saying how we say you don't have to have anything for people to not like you or be envious, should we say, jealous of you or whatever. That's what I like. Somehow you still win in the end. And that don't mean, like, even if other people out there done been able to get that type of fate, fortune, whatever card readings, and it said you was gonna win in the end, make sure that you real optimistic and like open-minded with what win means, okay? And then you'll start to see the signs as life unfolds. You'll start to see what that meant. Don't always think that means lottery, or getting married to somebody that's wealthy, or some, like, don't always think that. Just start to notice that the more people want to put you down, I'm talking about doing the most. We live in a sick world where people will abuse you, they will isolate you, they will put you in situations because they're envious, and they want people to, ultimately they want everything to be canceled for you. You understand what I'm saying? So like an evil witch, and this is most princess fairy tale, divine feminine stories. And fairy tale doesn't mean that it's not real. I don't know where that notation came from, but it just means fairies are telling the tale. But anyway, most of those stories, you'll notice that the woman feels like by degrading and exploiting the female, that not only is she tearing away the genuine way that people are supposed to see her, but also stripping her of being. I just noticed that she feels like also she can strip you from being able to, like, any gifts. Like, we all have things that only we can do that are unique. We all have different gifts that the creator gave us, you know what I'm saying? Whether that be nurturing, whether that be protecting, whether that be wisdom, guidance, whatever it may be. And then in more creative, unique ways, those categories, we all have those that we're supposed to be able, when people we love or care about and vice versa come in our lives, we're supposed to be in reciprocity with them with those gifts. And they feel like by doing certain things against you, because of society's views and because of the way society feels like man and woman should carry themselves to live and survive, which I don't disagree with most of the traditional society views. My thing is, I don't like how fake people are about the reality of how people end up in situations or how situations come about. I don't like how disingenuous most people are about that. You know what I'm saying? Every person that has been in jail is not a bad person. Every person that has ended up murdering somebody is not a killer. They're not somebody that enjoys doing it. It could have been in self-defense. It could have been an accident. So at the end of the day, I just don't like small-minded people when it comes to stuff like that. And I notice, even in those stories with the fairy tales, it's always the evil witch feeling like if they take certain actions or pray certain wickedness against the empress, that multiple things, not just one thing, is going to be destroyed. And like I said, you being able to be seen for who you really are, who God created you, you being able to, show and share those talents and attributes and gifts that God actually created you to do, as well as love. You know what I'm saying? They feel like, because like I said, the way society feels, majority of people are going to feel like, okay, well, that person is canceled out. And so in order to love yourself and really heal, if you're somebody that has, went through certain spiritual attacks, and you have had like a wicked witch or multiple, or just, negative energy in general trying to come for you. And I'm going to tell you now, the more people feel, I don't want to say threatened, but just the more people who demons are irritated by your light, and it's not personal. Have you ever been around people that were just irritated because a group of people was laughing? Like, they didn't know what they were laughing about. They didn't know. They just was irritated because they were in a bad mood and these people over here laughing, right? I've witnessed it multiple times, and not to even make that a long subject, I'm just saying it could be Just simple as that. You're happy, you're confident. You're in a situation that's hard for you, and this individual has access to knowing your personal